top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go.
Yo, welcome back. This is Real Deal Trucking, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm Reggie.
And it's your boy Maceo, Real Deal Trucking. Back at you. You know, we out here filming these episodes about what's going on out here in this trucking world. Shit, this all fun for us. We just having fun. And we finna give y'all this Real Deal Trucking, what's going on with these current events in the street, because I know it's affecting y'all out here. It's affecting me. It's affecting my man right here. But so shit, what we gonna do right now, we're gonna let my man lead into this episode and tell us how it's affecting your company. Go ahead and talk to me, big homie.
So, man, as I was talking to you off camera earlier, let's just say I'm gonna give them real numbers. Right now, where you was getting $3 to $5 a mile.
And these and right now, not to cut you off, big homie, these are actual. This is actual right now, today, right?
Right, today.
Well, okay.
$3 to $5 just a month ago per mile.
Okay,
But
okay.
now a lot of you guys are seeing these rates drop down to under $3 a mile, really under $2 a mile, right? But fuel is anywhere from $4.50 to $6 sometimes, I think on the West Coast. I don't run the West Coast, but even higher than that. So think about how that price at the pump, you're almost paying double for the price of diesel you were paying a month ago, is eating into your profits at a lower rate that you were getting a month ago. I was reading, I'm not gonna name their name, but you know, they're a reputable source to me. Yeah. But I was reading an article earlier today that was letting me know that the month of March of 2022 has had a freight volume turndown that was lower than any month last year combined.
In that article, though, so in that article, like, give us an example. What was one of the things that you saw in the articles that caught your mind? You know, I ain't gonna say caught your mind. Yeah,
that stuck out to me because what it stuck out to me is because generally, you know, we run a lot of reefer freight.
Absolutely.
So generally, we see our slowdown months in start slowing down December, January, February. Yeah. But this part of the year, going almost, you know, the end of the first quarter, going into the second quarter, we're normally taking off. We're starting to boom.
December, I was heavy. January, I was heavy. February, I was slow.
No. That's now. But I'm talking about if you look back, let's say the past 10 years.
Absolutely.
You see what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
absolutely
a bit abnormal this year that we're having a slump.
Shit, after COVID, everything is abnormal.
Well, that's true.
Trucking is abnormal. Like, it's hell,
so
man.
We coming off a major boom. I mean, everybody I talked to had a good 2021.
Okay.
You know, I didn't hear anything bad. For nobody on the carrier side, I heard some complaints from the broker side.
Gotcha. Real quick. So as far as like with going into the pandemic, did you feel like a lot of heat? Did you feel like a lot of when it came to getting lows, was it a positive or was it a negative impact going into like that March 20, I think, what was it, 2020? Yeah, when everything was really going crazy.
Well, I'm going to say this. The pandemic, it first started off shaky when everything was uncertain. But then overall, I got to say it was well for the trucking industry. Because you had a lot of consumers at home on quarantine, so they ordered a lot of more. They ate more food at home. They ordered
deliveries.
They ordered more of anything, any product. So of course the wheels had to turn more. But now what we're seeing, we're coming out of the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are people doing? They're getting out the house more. They're traveling, but fuel prices are high. So they're taking majority of their
Home deliveries are up right now too.
But they're taking majority of their money. People want to get out. They want to travel. You got spring break coming up. You got summer. Kids are getting out. People want to travel. So with travel, you got to think, families are on budgets, right? Mm-hmm. So that money that they were ordering packages and just impulse buying on their phone and everybody cooking and eating it at the house, now everybody's getting out. So the demand is going down. So when the demand goes down, and then also you got to look at, I read this as well, you had a high rate of new authority issued by the FMCSA last year. So you had a lot of new people getting into the industry.
Good point.
So what that does, you got more trucks on the road, but your people, your consumer purchasing is going down because people are going outside now.
And of course we
So
still
have
recuperated from the pandemic.
Right.
So you got so many trucks coming in, but you got so much freight sitting out here.
Right. Nobody's buying as much as they were during the pandemic because everybody's getting out, and then that disposable income now is being spent on fuel. Because if you want to get out of the house, what you got to do? You got to put more fuel in your car to move. So that means you're not going to spend as much money on the consumer goods. If you're not spending that much money on the consumer goods, what does that mean? That for us, we're not having as much freight volume to move.
Right.
So like I said last week when I read the reference about the fishing and throwing the bread out to the fish, we're the carriers, we're fighting over that bread is the freight. We're fighting over it now.
Right.
So then you look on a lot of the social media and you see these guys in these groups and they're talking about, man, the people taking the cheap freight, or you need to park your truck.
Daily.
But what you got to understand is everybody operation is different. What may be cheap to you may not be cheap to me.
And it's funny.
And it's different. You got people operating at a high depth level. You got people operating at a low depth level. Yeah. You got people that's living in their truck that don't have any bills. So there's so many variables.
A lot of different avenues, man.
Right.
To the trucking industry.
Many different variables that, like, $2.50 a mile might be dirt cheap to me, but to Bob over there, that might be a gold mine to him. So he like, hey, if y'all don't want to take it, give it to me. I'm gonna take it. So it's just like we got this battle, and you see it flip every year or two. It goes back and forth. Oh man, park your trucks. Don't move your trucks. Say no to cheap freight. And I'm all for that. Say no to cheap freight. But what is cheap freight? Cheap freight is in the eye of the beholder on how your company is set up.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna chime in on that. Okay. Now my operation is I'm local. So some people will say, okay, say no to cheap freight, and I'm all for it. But my margin, because I've been so in the game so long, I'm doing volume with multiple trailers. So I'm able to say the $0 to $200 rate. I mean margin. It doesn't affect me. Right. So as
you may not, you're not saying taking $0 to $200 on a load. You're saying the fluctuation of if a load was gonna pay $1,000, if it drops to $800, it's not gonna affect you much because you're doing multiple trailers. You're doing
absolutely,
volume.
And still on day to day, I may still get 2 loads in because I set my business up during the hardships of back in 08 to 08.
You learn from those experiences and grew your business to adapt.
Absolutely. And now what I learned from that is running a debt-free business. To me, you don't have to have a debt-free business to survive this.
Right, because a lot of people like the lease.
Absolutely.
Tax benefits and all that stuff.
Absolutely. And see, what I went through back in 08 all the way up to 9, 10, 11, 12, I struggled, bro. I went through it. We had multiple trucks. Even filed bankruptcy. Was ashamed to even tell my people that shit.
What year did you file bankruptcy?
It was 2011. And I was actually ashamed about that, man. I was actually telling about that, man, because
I recently had to file during the bloodbath in 2019. That was the only way that I had to downsize my fleet. I lost some of my fleet with stuff tearing up.
Yeah.
People stealing equipment. It was a lot. And in those years when times get hard.
I had a truck repo then. I had a truck and a trailer repo. So I ain't afraid. I'm not ashamed to sit up here and say that shit because this is real deal trucking, man.
Right.
And this is what
people gotta learn
have
from
to
our
understand.
Mistakes and
I'm telling them so they don't make the same mistakes we made when we get out there. It's make money.
Right. Back. It takes time. You can bounce back.
And that's what I was saying. Like my daughters would tell me, Daddy, you don't have to be perfect. But if you strive to be perfect every day, then you don't understand what it is to fail, because every day you go out here, you busting your ass just like we do, day in and day out. And to me, it's perfect. I strive everything to be perfect. I know that may not be the best thing to do, but I get out here, I figure I have to be perfect to make this thing work. So whether I'm losing $200 or $1, I'ma still make it move forward. You know, because that's how I structure my business. Now, if it goes over to $8, $9, $10 a gallon, that's different. But right now, am I seeing a hit with these gallons? It's not really affecting my business because I'm able to, I have the equipment to pull in more.
Because you're doing volume.
Freight, and I'm doing drop and hook.
That goes
That goes back to what I said about the debate about the say no to cheap freight. Not saying that you're gonna take cheap freight, but cheap freight is only in the eye of the beholder. What is cheap freight to you? What is your operating cost? A guy that has a trailer payment, a truck payment, insurance, maintenance, everything, maintenance, escrow, all of these stuff.
And I know I know they feeling it right now. We been there, bro.
If you're running that spot market, you're kind of forced to say, okay, yeah, I see this load. It's going, I'm gonna use a nice round number of 1,000 miles. Yeah, I know I was getting $4,000 or $5,000 for this load a month or two ago, but now they can get $2,000 or $2,200 for it. But I got a payment that's due in 2 weeks. I don't have no choice but to take this load and move it. But then you got a guy that's operating debt free where he doesn't have what you have.
Right. And
He would call on that same load and damn near cuss the broker out. You insulting me, you giving me this. I just moved this for you last week for this amount of money. But then you go back and refresh on your load board and you be like, wow, the load just gone. What idiot took that? But you can't really call that person an idiot because y'all businesses are structured differently. Absolutely. And they're in a different place than you are in. So they have no choice. They're gonna what? Either repo man gonna come get it, they gonna file bankruptcy.
You gotta do what you gotta
do what you gotta do to try to
every man for himself. No matter, you know what though.
So it's
even though we're good friends, best friends. Yeah. Here's the issue. We still separate our business and friendship because at the end of the day, we're in competition. We still are competitive.
Because we in the same running these freight. You could cut my freight. You can cut my throat and underbid me.
Say all kinds of shit.
But then we gonna go have we gonna have a drink about it. It's business.
It's business.
And that's why you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it. Everybody is in different situations, and everybody company is set up differently. And I mean that's what it boils down to, man. So. Hey man, I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed talking about this, and we gonna come.
It's Maceo and Reggie, Real Deal Trucking, and y'all stay tuned, man. We got some good feedback, and this next episode gonna blow y'all mind. So subscribe to the channel. It's Real Deal Trucking, Reggie Maceo.
Hey man, wait a minute, hold up, we ain't finished. Hit that like button,
give us a like,
comment. And subscribe, man. Come on, man. Y'all tune in, man. We're going to keep on giving y'all this knowledge. We're going to give you this real, this raw. You know, hey.
And it's all fun, man.
It's all love, fun. Man.
Shoot us some messages. DM us. Let us know what y'all thoughts are. Let us know what's going on with y'all business. How y'all are running this business in this era that we in. We know the few.
Check us out on IG, man. Real
Talk
Deal
to
Trucking.
us, folks. Real Deal Trucking.